Okay. Dear students, good evening. We welcome all of you for this webinar, and we have with us the evening speaker, CA Shivani Agarwal, and moderator CA Pankaj Purohit. The moderator sir will be introducing to you with the chairman sir, vice chairman sir, and with the speaker. Over to moderator sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us for today's session of the Run at 100 webinar series, an initiative by ICI Board of Studies Operation to celebrate excellence, ignite insight, and empower the next generation of financial professionals. For today's session, I will first introduce everyone to CA Dr. Rohit Rutia, sir. CA Dr. Rohit Rutia is an iconic Central Council member of ICI and currently serving as chairman of Board of Studies Operations. Renowned for his visionary leadership, he holds the distinction of being one of the youngest ever managing committee member, regional council member, and central council member in ICI's history. He has contributed for major initiatives for inclusion of ICI's name in Guinness World Record for the largest career counseling session, led impactful programs like Practice Ki Pathsala and residential training for new COP holders. As chairman, he continues to shape policy and method of practice for CA profession and aspiring students respectively. Dedicated to student empowerment, he is committed to modernizing CA education through digital platform, innovative learning methods, and industry-related training, making him a key force in redefining the future of CA profession. Now I will introduce you all to our Vice Chairman, Sir CA Sanjeev Sanghi, sir. CA Sanjeev Sanghi, a seasoned chartered accountant with over 26 years of experience, currently serving as the Vice Chairman of Board of Studies Operation ICA. As a Central Council member, he is widely respected for his leadership in digital transformation, capacity building, and professional development. As a capable chartered accountant, he led impactful initiatives like UDAN and Voice of Diamonds. He has actively contributed to various ICA committees and held key positions in professional and social organizations. Known for his visionary approach, he is committed to empowering young professionals, enhancing auditor ethics, and strengthening ICA's global presence through innovation and inclusive growth. For today's session is an exciting one and a truly essential skill in the modern financial world. Our today's topic is overcoming failure and rejection in the CA journey. To lead us into this artful territory, we are privileged to have with us a distinguished speaker, CA Shivani Agarwala. Ma'am, CA Shivani Agarwala is a renowned chartered accountant and India's first and only six-time world champion in kettlebell sports. A practicing member of ICA, she is a leading expert in indirect taxation and has delivered over 250 sessions nationwide as a national faculty. Honored among the top 40 Fin influencers of India 2024 by ICI, she is also a celebrated motivational speaker with engagements at the Indian School of Business, the Army Wives Welfare Association, and more. She was awarded the Pride of Bengal 2022 and has been personally appreciated by Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi for her exceptional achievements in sports, profession, and parenting. Let's give a warm welcome to CA Shivani Agarwal. Over to you, ma'am.
Do I start the session, Pankaj?
Ji, ma'am.
Great. A very, very good afternoon to everyone who's tuned in. And my special thank you to the Board of Studies, our chairperson, our vice chairperson, to the Institute of Chartered Accountants for giving me this opportunity to speak my heart and mind to the students today. I understand that I will not be able to see the students on the other side, but I also believe that I will be taking up a few questions towards the end of the session. The topic for today is how to overcome failure. To give you a brief on who uh, I am a homemaker. I'm a mother to a 10-year-old. I'm a practicing chartered accountant. I complete 20 years of being a chartered accountant this November. And I'm also India's first and only six-time women world champion in kettlebell sports. Besides this, I'm a TEDx speaker, and the Prime Minister has himself written a very heartfelt letter to my father, describing my contribution to the nation not just as a professional chartered accountant, but also as an athlete and as a parent. Now, why do I begin my session with describing my list of achievements? And there is a reason why I do so. I qualified chartered accountancy at the age of 22, and I am 42 today. And ever since that, it's not that I have not faced failures. I have faced a lot of rejections. I have faced a lot of turmoil. I have faced a lot of challenges to be where I am today. But when I look back at my life, I feel that there is nothing called failure. You know, you never fail. I always believe that you either win or you learn. Now, let me also begin by giving you a brief history into my upbringing. Now, I am someone who's never participated in a single sports event back in school or college. I belonged to an institution back in the day because I'm a kid of the 1980s. Honestly, we were never taught the principles of self love. We were never taught what is it to be motivated. Whatever we learned as a way of life by watching our parents, by growing up in a joint family system. And very, very importantly, who I am today is also a lot because what the chartered accountancy course taught me. I'll come to that, but before that, let me tell you the feeling that I had when I became India's first woman world champion in kettlebell sports, and the national anthem was played for me, and the Indian national flag was unfurled on in 2018 at Uzbekistan. So I've had 6 world championship. One was at Uzbekistan, followed by Australia in 2019, followed by Greece, followed by France in 2021, and my last championship in Belgium in 2024. Now imagine the plight of a girl who has weighed almost 80 kilos for most of her school life, who has had nothing in her family or in her entire life until the age of 35 to do anything with sports, to be actually gracing a platform as prestigious as ours, which is the Board of Studies, to motivate the students and let them understand that how do you overcome failure. Now, to begin with. And my talk, while I keep describing my life journey, would also be a lot of what I have learned. And these are few life principles that have made me the person that I am today. To begin with is the 4 wheels of life. Like a car which moves on 4 wheels, you know that if one of the wheel was to go flat, the car would not move forward, right? The pace of the car would not be good enough. And I realize that even my life moves on 4 wheels. One is my professional wheel of life, one is my personal wheel of life, one is my family wheel of life, and one is my social wheel of life. Now, coming to my professional wheel of life, I qualified chartered accountancy in 2005 when I was just 22 years old. The framework of life was very simple. Honestly, we never had a choice. We were a generation where we were not allowed to step out to study. So, chartered accountancy was a very natural recourse we took as girl students back in the day. And I'm very glad that a lot of who I am today is because of the chartered accountancy course. It taught me discipline, it taught me hard work, it taught me that hard work will always beat talents. It taught me that life will always offer you 2 choices, faith or fear, and both are life choices. And it's absolutely your choice as to which path you want to go on. I would not say that life is always being easy. And I will always begin with saying that if once and for all you make up your mind that, hey, life is not fair, but we have to navigate this life because good or bad, this is the only life you have. And then when you navigate through different circumstances and you realize that I can either go to the path of faith or I could go to the path of fear. And as someone rightly said, that life is the sum total of the choices you make. Professionally, I'm a chartered accountant, and I'm very glad that the joint family setup back in the day, the lack of social media helped us have razor sharp focus. And we had to be involved so much in the course itself that we had little or no time around to actually be distracted or deviated. And when I became a chartered accountant, my first job was with Price Waterhouse Coopers. And I was a first generation chartered accountant. And it took my parents some time to get used to the fact that there is a girl who will be stepping out to work. And then there were times when I used to come back at 8 p.m. and my mother would almost look at me as if it's sacrilege, like, oh my God, how can you come so late during the day? And I have been through that life to fast forward today where I call my own shots. So I've literally earned that. Now, while I was doing chartered accountancy, yes, I have failed failure. But when you put your mind to something and you know that come what may, I will, with all my grit, with all my determination, I will achieve that. I think that will make you the person you are. At the end of the day, it's not whether you took one attempt, you took two attempts. At the end of the day, once you are a chartered accountant, what matters is what have you put in? Have you put in your heart? Have you put in your soul to be where you are today? And as you know, Warren Buffett rightly says that in great attempts, even failure is glorious. I'll repeat that. In great attempts, even failure is glorious. So, for any one of you who are on the other side today, who are pursuing chartered accountancy, and I'm assuming most of the people who have tuned in today are students from various walks of life, different social backgrounds, different economic backgrounds, different stratas of society, different parts of the country. I would just say one thing to you guys. It just seems like yesterday that I was on the other side. And I'm very glad that the Board of Studies and the Institute as a whole is taking such great attempts to give you an exposure and understand from people like me and so many of us to share our life journeys. Believe me, we never had it. Point I'm trying to bring home is that life will never be a straight line. There will be a lot of twists, a lot of turns. And when you go on this path, you will also feel demotivated. Now, talking about demotivation, every one of you must have heard, motivation, stay motivated. And, today you have to be motivated to study and this and that. Honestly, if you ask me, to my mind, motivation is very fleeting by nature. It is as if today you are motivated and tomorrow you are not. So I say that do not rely much on motivation. Motivation is extremely fleeting by nature. It is today, it may not be tomorrow. But what stays with you is a sense of discipline. It's extremely important to have that innate sense of discipline because human mind and body are such that if you want to make it in a certain way, you have to follow a proper course. As someone rightly said, that it takes 21 days to make a habit. So, as a growing up child, I would say that I've not been exceptionally great academically, but I was always in the top bracket. But as far as sports is concerned, I was not there. I mean, not even on the radar. So imagine me being someone who's lifted the national flag at post pregnancy. And I started my journey into sports when I became a mother. And I'll come to that. But before that, let me come back to the four wheels of life. So there is a professional wheel of life. And why am I sharing this with you is that very soon you guys will be professionally qualified chartered accountants, and some may take longer, some may take a shorter duration of time, but sooner than later you will be there. And I'm sure many times you must have come across that ever since I've taken up this CA course, I'm just not getting time to exercise. I'm just not getting time to take care of myself. I'm just not getting time to be with my friends. I'm just not getting time to be with my parents. Oh my God, how tough it is. It is like the toughest course in the country. No, friends. It's never about having time. It's always about making time. I'm a mother. I'm a homemaker. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm an athlete who's preparing for her world championship in 2026. And also, I'm a motivational speaker. Now, how do I get the time to do all this? It's all in here. I keep telling myself that it's never about having time, it's about making time. If you have it here, you will always land up making time for it. So the second wheel of life is the family life, wherein I'm a mother, you guys, you are children, you're beautiful children to your parents, your brothers, your sisters. So that comprises your family life. Then comes your social life, which is your friends, your extended family. You meet them for a cup of coffee, you meet them for a cup of tea, you go out for movies. And then comes your personal wheel of life. Now, what happened when I became a mother 10 years back at 32? I had this tiny little baby in my hand who weighed about 2.34 kilos. And I did not know, like, how would I become a good parent? And I was raised in a joint family of more than 30, 35 people. And there I am in a nuclear family having to take care of this little baby. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I said I wanted to be a great parent. But then I realized that how can I be a great parent if I'm not feeling great? How can I pour from an empty vessel? How can I be the best version of myself? How can I raise a happy child if I'm not a happy person? And that's when I led to discovering myself. And I came across this beautiful line which says, "Khud ko khoya to kya paya." In the quest of being a good mother, I wanted to be the best version of myself. So I had about 7 kilos of postpartum weight. For the first time ever, I hit a gymnasium, and I had never been to a gym before. For the likes of me, I did not even know what you wear to a gym. And there I came across this beautiful equipment of kettlebell. If you Google me, you'll find a ton of data on me. You can also see what kettlebell is. But very briefly, if I was to tell you, kettlebell is a weightlifting sport and it's gradually gaining momentum in India, but it's played as a competitive sport all over the world. And you have to lift the equipment. I mean, I lift up till 48 kilos. You've got to lift that in a given format for a specific period of time. And that's when I realized that my love for kettlebells, for both kettlebells and chartered accountancy, I always say I did not find them, they found me. So I quit the gym because I had a small baby who wanted attention. My work was moving north. GST was just implemented in 2017. My son was 2. And before that, right from 2015, we were working very hard on GST. And I said, like, it won't happen. And I quit the gym. And there I met my mentor and my coach, Mr. Arnab Sarkar, who made me start kettlebell lifting. For the longest, I was just lifting kettlebells to lose weight and to stay fit. I did not know that I will make history by becoming India's first, and as I speak to you, the only 6-time woman world champion in kettlebell sports. Now, the point I'm trying to bring home, friends, is that when you are a student, which you are today, your only razor sharp focus is my studies. I need to qualify this course. And needless to say, that chartered accountancy is a course which requires a lot of hard work, a little bit of talent, a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and a lot of discipline. Now, when I started my journey into sports, I did not know why I wanted to do this initially. But then when I looked back, I realized that I did not have to raise my son, I had to raise myself. And if I raise myself to a standard, I will be raising a very happy child. So I had a very strong why. And as someone, a wise man once said, that he who has his why can endure almost anyhow. Please write down these words for any of you making a note. He who has his why can endure almost anyhow. And this applies so beautifully even to the chartered accountancy course. You may find a point in time where you've studied very hard and results have not been as expected. You may find a time in life where you have worked so hard, but you just feel extremely demotivated. You may come across crossroads in life where you feel that perhaps this was not the right course for you. You may be looking at your neighbor and thinking that, hey, maybe, I could have done a fashion designing course or maybe something else. But please understand, friends, that he who has this why can endure almost anyhow. Back in the day when I was pursuing chartered accountancy, times were very different. We had little or no distraction. We lived an extremely humble life. We were very, very disciplined. And if one thing the course has taught me is hard work, it's taught me resilience, it's taught me discipline. And since I'm an athlete, I would like to share that experience that I did not know that a person like me could have anything to do remotely with sports. And today, in front of you, I'm gracing this beautiful platform, not just because I'm a chartered accountant, but also because I stand before you as an athlete, a very proud one. And why did I do that? Because I had a very strong why. My why was a finite why of being fit, being a happy parent. And honestly, I had absolutely no idea that all this love, all this fame, the prime minister writing to my father, me getting awards left, right, and center, being featured on newspapers and news, that was never the agenda. My why was I wanted to be a fit parent, and it made me reach the zenith of success. And I would only try and tell you one thing, that if you have a strong why, and you never know, you can just reach for the stars. And as someone rightly said, that the wings are for you to fly, and the stars and the sky belongs to no one. So take that leap of faith. So always keep the four wheels of life intact, which is your professional life, your personal life, your family life, and your social life. Obviously, you can tweak your routine depending upon which phase of life you are in, but make sure that if even one of the life is absolutely if one of the tires is without air, the car would not move ahead. So while you're grinding, while you're studying, putting in those hours at work, make sure that you don't avoid the other three wheels of life, which is your family wheel of life, which is your personal wheel of life, and which is your social wheel of life. A few important things that I have briefly mentioned and like to speak about is how do you actually maintain this balance, and how can you overcome those phases of rejection? I would like to first and foremost begin by saying, friends, that while everyone says that happiness is a state of mind, happiness is a journey, it's not a destination. I also feel that being happy always is not mandatory. I think happiness is very overrated. Happiness is a state of mind, definitely, and different ideas, different people, different things bring joy and happiness to different people. So, always to be happy, always to be on the top of the moon, always to be on cloud nine is not important. If you feel there are days where you're mentally fatigued, it's okay. Or there are days where you feel low, it's absolutely fine. There are days when physically you feel completely burnt out, it's absolutely fine. I say if you realize that there is something which is happening in your mind and body, and you realize it and you're willing to work on it, that's half the battle won. And there are different tools which are available. I, for one, I do a lot of journaling because there are phases in my life where I feel that I'm at crossroads. It's always a question of why me, and I journal, and to some extent that helps me. I meditate because that is how I be centered. When I know that the strength of the entire universe and all the love and abundance lies inside me, that helps me. So I would say that while you're pursuing chartered accountancy, accept that things may not go your way. It is not failure. It may just be a roadblock. And as I said, you always learn or you win. You never lose. So it's okay that if results have not come your way. But one of the techniques which helped me to a large extent is journaling. And also, I would say meditation has gone a long way. A couple of other things, friends, is mentorship. You know, a wise man once said that you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. I repeat, you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. And mentors do exactly that. Now, imagine I have been someone who's never had anything to do with sports. And now, when people look at me, they are like, oh, you are that kettlebell world champion, right? Okay, now how did this happen to me? Mentorship. And two people who've been a profound influence in my life, my husband, who is a strict disciplinarian and who handholds me and who tells me that, you have to do this. And he always tells me one thing, that you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make the horse have the water. So, how much of motivational lectures you attend to, how much ever motivational videos you watch, at the end of the day, buddy, you've got to do that grind. And if you don't do that grind, no one is going to come to you and do that grind on your behalf. So, you have to be entirely sure that it has to be your A game or it has to be your no game. My coach, my mentor, Mr. Arnab Sarkar, who showed me that what kettlebell lifting is. And for someone who is just trying to lose weight, goes on to be where I am today, it wouldn't be possible without having him in my life. So I would say that find a good mentor. A mentor could be someone who's in close vicinity, who could be a fellow chartered accountant, who could be someone you look up to, who could be someone you really get inspired by. So once you have a mentor in life, they actually tell you, like how to do it. They will not necessarily handhold you. They will show you the way. And once you have that strict sense of discipline in you, then, life starts unfolding magic. I always say there are only two ways of living life. One, as if nothing is magic, and second, as if everything is magic. And the choice is absolutely yours, that what would you like to believe in? So we spoke about the four wheels of life, which you have to keep intact. We spoke about the value of having a very strong why. We also spoke about the importance and the significance of having a good mentor, because mentors pretty much shape up so many things in your life which otherwise would be haywire. Let's come to the next point, which is hard work. So I'm often asked whether you would vote for hard work or whether you will vote for talent. Now, I am a great believer that hard work beats talent, and there is absolutely no replacement to discipline. Discipline, again, is a state of mind. Discipline is something I will always emphasize over motivation. Now, hail, rain, storm, even if I'm traveling for one day, I take my kettlebells with me. In 10 years of my lifting, I have hardly missed any sessions. And that takes a tremendous amount of self belief and discipline. If you ask me, I've documented my food over the last 10 years. You can ask me what I ate, when I ate, I can give you that data. Where does this come from? It comes from a sense of discipline. Now, why do I do that? Is because my sports needs me to give those data points to my nutritionist, but I also had a choice of not doing it. And when I started doing it, because I belong to a Marwari family and I'm a girl who's grown up on kachoris and pakoris and samosas all her life, to actually give it all up, it's been like an uphill task, but now it's almost like a way of life for me. Now, let me share with you a small story, so there was this beautiful statue in this exotic location in Italy, and there was a piece of tile, marble tile, which was lying. Now, whoever went to that museum in Italy used to look at awe, in awe at the marble statue and would say that, wow, they would just keep looking at the statue in all its glory and have great things to say. And they used to just stamp on the marble tile and move ahead. So once the crowd started dispersing, after a couple of months, the marble tile struck a conversation with the statue and said that, hey, buddy, why is it that anyone who comes to this museum is looking absolutely gazing at you, so much in awe of you, and have such beautiful things to say of you? But at me, they don't even give me a second look. And oh my God, they just stamp on me. And what is it that is so different between you and me? So the marble statue paused for a while and it said that, okay, let me just recollect. And then he said that you remember the sculptor when he was trying to work on you with his sharp tools? You are the one who resisted him, while I was the one who bore the brunt of all his tools. And here I am standing in all my glory, tall before you as this beautiful piece of art. And that's when the child realized that he is right. Actually, I resisted those and I did not want to go through the grind. And here I am today. So, such is life, friends. In your life, while you're pursuing chartered accountancy, most of us, I would say, or rather, most of you have chosen to be that statue and not that piece of marble. So, whenever you look at someone else who is not having the same life as you because they have chosen not to do a course as great, as glorified, and so beautiful like that of chartered accountancy, and he and she has a different path in life, and you feel that, hey, buddy, man, oh God, my life is so tough and his or her life is absolutely different. Maybe I should have not done this. Always ask yourself that question, that whether you want to be the marble tile in Shivani's story or you want to be the marble statue. And once you know that you have decided to be that statue, it takes an innate sense of discipline. But believe me, it's going to be so worth your while. You know, once you have that badge of being a chartered accountant, and once people look up at you, and once you look up at yourself, you know, I always say that don't look left, don't look right, don't look down upon anyone, don't look up to anyone. But when you look at that person at the mirror, you should be so proud of that person you're looking at. You should be so proud of your journey. You should be like, yes, that is it. And I want to be a better version of myself each and every single day. And as they say, there's quite a slip between the cup and the lip. And hence, you've just got to, with all your might, be at it. And as even in the Bhagavad Gita, they say that apna karma karo. Do your work and do not want the results. They will come your way. It's a direct byproduct of the hard work that you put in. Yes, the destiny, the divine is has its ways, but as they say that once you've made up in your mind that you've got to achieve something, the entire universe, and believe me, I'm a living example of this, the entire universe conspires to make things happen for you. Life has not been easy for me, and it's been like a huge uphill task. The first time I told my mother that I had to travel to Delhi for a sporting event, my mother almost, you know, it was as if there is no ground under her feet. Before that, in 2008, when I wanted to go for my first talk to Siliguri, my parents were like, oh my God, no, this can't happen. To today, friends, where I can travel the world on a day's notice, I have earned that for myself. I'm a kid of the 80s where the framework of life was so very different. You know, nothing was served to us on a platter. We always had to fend our way. And today, the person I am, when I look at the mirror, I'm so proud of the person I've become because I wasn't that person 10 years back. I wasn't that person 20 years back. But I am still not that person I wish to be. So let me relate a small story to you again. You know, when I qualified about 20 years back, my uncle asked me that, hey, Shivani, become a chartered accountant and who's your hero? You know, he must have thought that I became a chartered accountant looking up to someone and I had this dream of being like someone. But as I said, for me, chartered accountancy found me. I did not find this course. It was a very natural choice for us because we were not allowed to step out of the house to pursue careers. And so I told my uncle that, uncle, my hero is still 10 years away. And then he met me 10 years after that. And then he asked me, hey, Shivani, have you found your hero? And I would tell him that, no, in Hindi, like in our family, we call Uncle Tauji. He was my Tauji. And I said that, no, my hero is still 10 years away. And I'm 42 today. And he asked me the other day, and this is for real, that have you finally found your hero? I am like, no, I am still 10 years away of my hero. That means what? In life, always have someone to look forward to. And that someone may or may not be someone you admire on social media, from Bollywood, from sports. It has to be you. It has to be your best version. And if you ask me today, what I'm looking forward to is, I don't know, my hero who's still 10 years away. And who is that hero? A better version of myself. So always have someone to look forward to, always have someone to look up to, and always have someone to chase. God has blessed me with the opportunities which were in no human hand. And I know for a fact that gratitude reciprocates. It's science, because you are in so much of abundance when you learn to count your joys in life, that it reciprocates. So always have someone to look up to. For me, it's my God, my faith that I believe in, because I believe that faith can move mountains. So always have someone to look up to, and always have someone to look forward to. Um, Another point that I'd like to share with you is the circle of friends you keep. I have grown up in a family where there was so much of love and abundance, never nothing overflowing, very humble background. But, looking at my parents, I realized that this is the way of life. I never remember my parents teaching me anything. And my son is 10. In the last 10 years, I have not taught him anything. I have lived a life where he can pick up values rather than being coached. And the one thing I realized later on in life, which is in the last 2 years, is the circle of people you keep. You know, um, Warren Buffett once said that when you're serious about life goals, you will drop a lot of friends. But what's the harm? Always remember that a bus has 50 seats, but a Lamborghini has only two. So if you want to be out there shining in all your glory and might, choose company of people who help you be a better version of yourself, who help you uplift yourself while you uplift others. There will be a lot of naysayers around, but you have to always remember that you are a sum product of the five people you spend most of your time with. So choose wisely. Company does matter. And there are times, like me and my friend, we have this great quote between us that, when I'm not right, I just message him that, hey, buddy, do you have 8 minutes? It's science that if you speak to someone for 8 minutes, it can, to a large extent, help you relieve all your stress. And find that one person or two persons in your life who are your thickest tribe, who will always be by your side. And it's not about someone who will tell you how to do it. They get in that mess down with you and help you cope with it. Now, a large part of finding the right person as a friend obviously is a lot to do with destiny. I feel it's predestined who you meet, when you meet, and where you meet, but you have to be very conscious about the company you keep. Another important point while I speak is we spoke about motivation. I would like to say again that, don't run after motivation, because today, maybe after the talk, 5 or 10% of you can get extremely motivated, inspired, and, start doing things. But that's not going to stay. What stays with you is a sense of discipline and your environment. You see, if you keep a shark in a fish tank, it grows by 6 inches. And when you keep the same shark in an ocean, it grows by 6 feet. You cannot beat your environment. So while pursuing this course, if you feel you are in company of people, whether friends or otherwise, family or otherwise, who are of the view that, this course is too tough, this course is not meant for you, this course is not meant for girls at all, this course is too demanding, drop them. At least keep them outside your radar, because I have a very strong belief that you cannot outbeat that environment. Razor sharp focus. I've been someone who's worn horses blinkers and just moved forward. I think once you learn to convert your pain into strength, and that happens only in adversities. So I've realized that your greatest strength comes from your deepest pain when you face the biggest adversity. I'm a product of challenges. Never had I dreamt of the life I have today, never was I living the life. I have earned everything from scratch, whether it's my chartered accountancy, being a first generation CA, whether it's being athlete, being pretty much the first ever sports person in my family history of maybe more than 100 years, and then to being a celebrated TEDx speaker. All of this I earned, and a large part of this was because of the hard work I put in, because of the great innate belief that I could do it. And whatever I did, even when challenges came my way, I realized and I told myself that I'm not supposed to waste my time, slash my energy, slash my effort on these little battles. I have wars to win. So choose your battles very wisely. When you move ahead in your journey of life, you may come across that crossroads where you feel that, okay, I think this requires a little more of my attention. Let me for now shut my studies and concentrate on this. Believe me, you have wars to win. Do not waste your time, energy on these small little battles. And as a wise man once told me, that keep every stone they throw at you, you have castles to build. Now, these stones are a metaphor for all the challenges that come your way, some that life inadvertently throws at you, some by people who do it intentionally or unintentionally, some by your very close, near, and dear ones. But always remember that you've got castles to build and you've got to keep every stone that comes your way. So, after the first few points, we spoke about discipline. We spoke about the fact that hard work beats talent. We spoke about the fact that motivation is fleeting and it is discipline that stays around. We spoke about the fact that you have to be amply sure of the company you keep. Now, one thing that keeps coming across to me is time. Um, and हो नहीं पा रहा है, how do we do it? I always say it's never about having time, it's always about making time. I see so many of my colleagues, my friends, people junior to me doom scrolling. If you can take out like 2 hours daily to scroll on your Insta and your WhatsApp and your Facebook, start start concentrating on things that matter. In this world of social media, you see that everything is hunky dory, people are happy. Half of it may be fake. I mean, I'm not saying all of it is fake, but do not get swayed away by that. Learn to be happy in real life and not just on the life on social media. So that is something which I feel was not there. And when someone asked me that what's your tagline for many talks, when people ask me, ma'am, give us one line, I always say one thing, that if you are persistent you will get it, and if you are consistent you will keep it. Many people tell me that, ma'am, 6 world championship, why are you striving for the seventh one? As I prepare for the seventh one, a lot of times my parents tell me, ab rehne do, let it be, now you're 42, you'll break your back and all of that. But I always keep telling myself that my journey has just begun. And one important fact, that comes to my mind, because what I've spoken today is from my heart. And I'll close in 5 minutes. If there are any questions on the other side, I would love to take them up. The one thing, a lot of people tell me is that, you are 42 and, you've already lived half your life and you think you want to do it anymore, or, I feel I'm living the best time of my life right now. Now, age is just a number. It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it does not matter. So I think chartered accountancy and age also has a very deep correlation, because people feel that, hey, I'm already 27, I'm not qualified. Hey, I'm 30, I'm not qualified. Age is just a number. It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it does not really matter. So, at whatever age you are in, at whatever stage of life you are in, if you've got a goal and if you've got razor sharp focus, all you need to do is to have that sense of grit, that sense of determination, that yes, I can do it. And as those few parting lines, and these are in Hindi, and for all the students who have joined in who do not understand, I'm going to translate it for you. But these are two couplets that I'd like to share. That कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती, नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेकर चढ़ती है, चढ़ती दीवारों पर 100 100 बार फिसलती है, मन का साहस रगों में विश्वास भरता है, चढ़कर गिरना गिरकर चढ़ना ना अखरता है, आखिर उसकी मेहनत बेकार नहीं होती, क्योंकि कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. I repeat myself that in great attempts, even failure is glorious. And you will always have a doubt. But always remember, when you look back at your life, it should not be from a regret that you didn't try hard enough. It could be a regret of failure, because as I said, failure is very intangible. You'll always learn something or the other out of your experience of that one incident, which you call failure. But at the end of it all, you'll come back stronger, because I'm a product of challenges, and I've realized that in the greatest of adversity, I've converted my deepest of pain into my best of strengths. And that is extremely important. And also, one thing, friends, we always live in a world where we want validation. We want people to think how great we are. But your sense of self has to be internal. Your sense of worth has to be internal. You cannot be living life on the terms of other people. You cannot be living life just always to be a people's pleaser. Because, my husband always tells me one thing, that you are not an ice cream seller. It's not your job to make everyone happy. I come from a fairly conservative family where traveling was not allowed, where I was not allowed to wear shorts, but my sport required that at least three-fourths of my legs are seen. Now, I still remember I almost had palpitations when I had to go in a pair of shorts before my coach. And today, here I am, that I don't think twice before wearing what I want. And that has largely come because I realized that it's not my job to make everyone happy. And if you feel that certain things are expected out of me and those things do not align with my life's journey, I'm sorry, I'm not going to hurt you at all, but I'm also going to do this my way. And सबका समन्वय बना के आपको चलना है, फैमिली में लेके चलना है, but at the same time खुद को खोया तो क्या पाया. So a few last thoughts. Someone asked me that, Shivani, how would you like to introduce yourself? I did a large introduction. Pankaj also did it for me. But I'm going to say a few lines which resonate with the kind of person I am. And this is to all you students out there, male, female, at any age, any caste, from any part of India. And just remember this, मैं स्वयं हूँ सूरज अपना, मेरे सामने तम क्या है. मैं स्वयं हूँ सूरज अपना, मेरे सामने तम क्या है. चुटकी भर ये मुश्किलें और दो चार जख्म क्या है. उड़ चला हूँ चीर के, उड़ चला हूँ चीर के आंधियों की उर को मैं, मेरा हौसला तय करेगा बाजुओं में दम क्या है. सो जब आप जब अपनी पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, when you are pursuing chartered accountancy, you are your own strength. You are that innate sense of universal love, abundance, which is deep inside you. Small hiccups, small roadblocks will come in your way. Remember, life is not going to be fair. Na, when a person is alive, and if you see the ECG graph, it's up, down, up, down. But for a person who's dead, it's like one straight line. So if you have been given the human life, challenges are bound to come. Like, I'm a GST consultant. Registered with GST, notices are bound to come. This is your life, friends. Adversity is bound to come, but life is only 10% of what happens to you, and it's 90% of how you react to it. And hence, it's very important to keep your sense of calm. And one last thing and a parting thought is, your greatest strength today will be a sense of empathy. It's so easy when you come across someone and you judge them without even knowing what's going on in their life. We all have skeletons in our cupboard. So the other day there was an employee and who was not performing. Had it been the old me, I would have noticed him and I would have said that, hey, you're not doing your job, and you can leave. But I noticed his trend and I asked him that, hey, I see that something is going on. Is there something I can help you with? And then he opened up and he shared that what's going on in his life. And that's when I realized that as a leader, your greatest skill set will be empathy. So even most of you are leaders, and most of you are becoming leaders. I would just say, have that innate sense of belief in yourself that you can do it, and sky is the limit. The wings are yours, and the sky belongs to no one. Take that leap of faith. Thank you so much. Pankaj, we can take some questions if you want, and I would be very happy to answer them, please.
Yes, ma'am. There is one question which I would like to ask from you that how to overcome from the fear of failure and what should be our approach to tackle the exams?
Sir, I would say one thing that failure is a state of mind. It's very intangible. You should not deter failure because, as I said, life is not fair, and failure, much like victory, is also a part of life. You have to learn to accept it. There are various ways of accepting it, which is internalizing it. Then you ruminate on it. Okay, I have failed. Now let's understand why did I fail, and after that you make down your plan of action that these are a few things I need to do. Now usme bhi you have to have a long term approach, short term approach. Let's catch the lower hanging fruits. Okay, I spent a little too much time on social media. Okay, lower hanging fruits. The higher ones could be, okay, I think I am technically very weak in this subject, so I need help. And thereafter, you work towards it with a sense of discipline. And every time, human mind does not delete, it does not, subtract, it only multiplies. So जो भी negative thought आ रहा है, अगर आपने इसको hold on कर दिया ना, it becomes your reality. Then you will keep multiplying it. तो इससे अच्छा एक अच्छा thought ले लो कि ओके भाई, 4 सब्जेक्ट्स में 3 तो मेरे पास हुए हैं, चौथा भी हो जाएगा. So that is a way of life. You've got to cultivate that as a way of life, and it will make you the adult you are. So मैंने तो ये देखा है that chartered accountancy has made me the person I am today. And it's such a beautiful course because I don't think so कि इंडिया में तो ऐसा कोर्स नहीं बना होगा, because it shapes you not just professionally, it also shapes you personally.
Thank you, ma'am. Another question is, I stay away from my parents and I miss them. What can I do for that? And these are questions which relates to our small city students.
Oh God. See, uh, अभी क्या ही बोलूं, मैं खुद इतनी ओवरवेलम हो जाती हूँ because I'm a product of good parenting. I have realized one thing. अगर happy home आप किसी को दे दो ना, then you sort that person as an adult. Whoever has asked me this question, firstly, my heart goes out to you. But remember, this is temporary, and this is a way of life. Connect with them over phone and keep telling yourself that they are here with me, and there will come a point in time where I will make them so proud and I'm going to stay with them. And this is that small phase of life where I'm having to do certain things which I may not like, but I will outgrow this sooner than later. But then again, remember the family wheel of life जिसकी मैंने चर्चा की थी. Stay connected with them, speak with them, journal your thoughts, make a journal for yourself where you feel low. मैंने बोला ना, हर समय खुश रहना जरूरी नहीं है. मिस कर रहे हो, दुख हो रहा है, लो फीलिंग आ रही है, पहले से इंटरनलाइज करना है. नहीं नहीं, मुझे दुख नहीं होना है, मुझे मम्मा पापा को मिस नहीं करना है, ऐसा नहीं है. दुख हो रहा है, मिस कर रहे हैं हम, तो अभी क्या करना है, इंटरनलाइज कर लिया. ओके, लेट्स मेडिटेट ओवर दिस थॉट फॉर 5 minutes. लेट्स जर्नल दिस. लेट्स गिव देम अ कॉल. And there is a feeling in me when I'm feeling low. Let's park this for the moment. हर फीलिंग को होल्ड ऑन करके उस पर मल्टीप्लाई नहीं करना है. What you do is that you catch that thought, you name that thought, and then you release it. It may be कि पूरी तरीके से आपके जहन से नहीं गया है, but you will attend to it later. So I'm studying law right now, example, and I'm missing my mother. लॉ की पढ़ाई बंद करके मम्मा से बात करना, ये नहीं. Hold on to that thought. Okay, the thought is I'm missing my parents right now. What is the name? The name is maybe love for parents. Release it to the universe. I'm going to come back to you. For now, let me study, and I'll attend to you maybe after an hour. I would do that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this insightful and power-packed session on overcoming failure and rejection in the CA journey. You have truly shown us that beyond just crunching numbers, it's how we communicate them that drive real decisions. To all our participants, thank you for your presence and enthusiastic engagement today. We hope this session will assist in a positive manner on the said topic. Let's continue the spirit of learning as part of the Run at 100 webinar series and take every opportunity to grow as future ready CA professionals. Until next time, take care and keep learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No other questions now, Pankaj ji?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
So, hello,
Yes.
Ji. One question: which real life CA or public figure income backstory inspires you the most, and why?
My own story. I don't look up to anyone. I don't look down upon anyone. I just chase to be the best version of myself. I wanted to be acknowledged by the Prime Minister when I was young. It happened. I wanted to be on newspapers and TV channels. It's happened. I'm meeting the Prime Minister soon. It's happening. I just want to be the best version of myself. I feel that every person in your life teaches you something. If you're open and if you're willing to learn, I think life just becomes so magical. But if I was to answer your question, I look at myself in the mirror and I get inspired by that person I'm looking at, and also that person I will become in years to come.
Thank you. One student is asking question. He is preparing for 23rd attempt of CA final. What
Okay.
should what should be the guidance?
मेहनत करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. Once you qualify your chartered accountancy, my dear friend, no one is going to ask you whether it took you first one attempt or two attempts. I would say that give it all, your heart and your soul. And then once you come at that crossroads where you feel that maybe my life's journey and my calling is something else, give it that thought. But while you are preparing, do it with full grace, with full honor, with full dignity. And as I said, that you don't have to be bothered किसी आपने आपके लेफ्ट में एक दिन में दिया है या दो अटेम्प्ट में दिया है. You have to prepare your own life's journey. And I am so proud of you. चलते फट्टे एकदम दिल खोल के दीजिए एग्जाम. Find a mentor, but at the same time, आपको क्यों इतने attempts लग रहे हैं? Is there a technical reason for it? Please also sit down and do that analysis, what you call the SWOT analysis, कि what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, and मेहनत तो करनी है, but as they say ना कि हार्ड वर्क से ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट स्मार्ट वर्क भी होता है. तो आप ये कोशिश करके पता करें कि भाई ऐसा क्या है जो कि आप डिफरेंट कर सकते हो इस बार, जिससे शायद आप जल्दी ही सक्सेस पा सको.
Thank you. Thank you to respected faculty and the moderator for the wonderful session. We also thank all dear students for their active participation in this session. We also thank to our chairman and vice chairman sir for taking this initiative. Students are requested to please join this run series every Tuesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. to learn and grow. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, moderator
थैंक यू
sir.
जी. और एक चीज बच्चों को बोल दूं दैट देयर इज अ कंफ्यूजन इन माय नेम. मैं शिवानी शाह, शिवानी अग्रवाल दोनों लिखती हूँ. But you will find me on LinkedIn in the name CA Shivani Shah. Please connect, and if there is anything that I can contribute in terms of your life journey, it will be a great privilege and honor for me. And I would also like to extend my heartfelt thank you once again to the Board of Studies ICAI for giving me this unique opportunity and being of service to the Institute. Thank you so much to all the students who tuned in, and I'm looking forward to many more such interactions.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, moderator.
Thank you so much.
We can leave the meeting now.
Yes.
No, sir.
I stay away preparing. Okay, yeah. Questions leading. Ji, sir. I'll leave. Thank you.
Thank you. We can leave the meeting.